Hey there, nation, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and we are back with another episode of Tales from the Tackle Zone Season 2. This is a series that's dedicated to our studio's Blood Bowl battle reports, and this is battle report number 15. This is a game that takes place in the Old World Conference. It is fought between my two friends, Brother Grimm, as well as my little sister Shade. My friend Brother Grimm is playing the Gouged Eye of the Orcs, and my sister Shade is playing the Champions of Undeath for the Shambling Undead. So we are now officially within the third round of our league for the Old World Conference. And for those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, if you're not sure what's going on, this is pretty much what's happening. What's happening is that we are doing a Blood Bowl league that consists of 12 different teams that are divided into two conferences called the Old World Conference and the New World Conference. There are 6 teams per conference, and the 6 teams will play in traditional round robin format, playing against each other until eventually there is a champion of those conferences. And the champion of the Old World Conference and the champion of the New World Conference will then face off in the Blood Bowl, kind of like modeling after American-style football with the NFC, AFC, as well as the Super Bowl. So this is battle number 15. My two friends will be going at it. My sister Shade has 1 victory as well as 1 draw so far, but my friend Brother Grimm has got 2 losses and no wins. However, he wants to make this his very first win, and my little sister also wants to make sure that she also gets her second win for this one as well. So as you can see, we rolled up for the conditions on this one. It was perfect conditions for Blood Bowl. My friend Brother Grimm's got a fan factor of 3 in this battle report, while my little sister Shade's got a fan factor of 5. As you can see, the audiences are fully packed today, with representatives from the Undead coming to watch their team play, as well as representatives from the Orcs to watch this game as well. So that being said, we're going to play some background music real quick. As the music is playing, we'll show you videos of both teams as well as their starting rosters. If you want to see exactly what these teams are bringing for this one, go and pause and take a look at your own leisure. So that being said, let's get this game on a roll. All right, so we're back to the first half of the kickoff. My little sister Shade did win the coin toss because that she elected to kick the ball in the first half. So that way in the second half she will receive the ball instead. So the ball does get kicked off and lands directly into this square as well. And the reason why is because the kickoff event for this one was a high kick. So because that one member of the defending team receiving team can move a player into the square to catch the ball. In this case, my friend Brother Grimm decided to use his Goblin Zogwarp to catch the ball. So because he did a successful catch, he is now currently in possession of it. And that takes us directly to the top of turn number 1 for this game. So we'll be right back after my friend Brother Grimm's activations. Alright, so that takes us directly to the top of turn number 1 for the Gouged Eye for the Orcs. As you can see, some pretty much offense is taking place right here in the center of the line of scrimmage. Managed to push back the zombie as well as one of these mummies as well. At the same time, he also moves Absorb Warp right behind the troll. And looks like what my friend's going to try to do is a throw teammate action, because he then sends his blitzers as well as linemen up forward into blocking positions to try to mark these players. That way they have to take some negatives in order to try to go after the goblin. Unfortunately, he was only able to be successfly down over here on this bottom line of the scrimmage. Up here, though, they still have a lot of positionals up in the wide zone. They're still perfectly fine. Over here, it's kind of interesting because this blitzer tries to throw a blitz directly into this ghoul, but it's kind of interesting because the ghoul has the dodge skill, ended up being a stumble, and normally gets pushed back, but because he's got the sidestep rule, Shade decided to pull this ghoul back 1 more square, so that way he can try to intercept any goblins that try to go flying that way. And that pretty much makes up turn number 1 for Brother Grimm. So with turn number 1 over with for the Orcs, we go directly to the bottom of the turn for the Shambling Undead. Alright, so that's directly to the bottom of turn number 1 for the Shambling Undead. As you can see, a lot of stuff has happened right over here in the midfield, right here in the center of the battlefield along the line of scrimmage. So let's talk about exactly what happened. First of all, this white player over here, white number 5, his name is Ajf Sinut. There we go. He actually has a blitz action, going around the wide zone directly behind the line of scrimmage, directly towards Zogwarp. He goes for it twice to land his blitz, manage to hit him, and not only does he manage to hit him, he also caused the ball to knock out of his hand, and he also puts a knockout result on him as well, so because that Zogwarp is currently out of position right now. Now the ball does bounce over directly towards the troll. His name is Toofgut Bonk Smasher. He does manage to, oddly enough, catch it, rolling a perfect 6 in order to do so. Now from there, of course, we do have some blocks taking place over here. This Mummy, Cinder, and Nabat managed to push back this big in. However, the most dramatic play, though, took place with player number 1, Afeb of the Sands. He throws a block directly into this blitzer, pushing him back, and using his multiple blocks attack, goes after the troll, Toofgut Bonk Smasher. He got a power result and both player down results. So unfortunately for my buddy Brother Grimm, was going to be bad either way, so he decided to go with both players down, at least hoping to try to injure the Mummy as well. Both of them go crashing down, but no one gets injured, and the ball bounces over to this unoccupied square right over there. And that pretty much makes it the turn 1 activations for Shade. So with turn number 1 over with, go directly to the top of turn number 2 for Brother Grimm and his Gouged Eye. So we go directly to the top of turn number 2 for my friend Brother Grimm, and unfortunately disaster strikes. The first thing he does, of course, he throws this blocker directly into that zombie, manages to push him back as well. Also get his troll and his big end back on their feet again as well. However, the most dramatic effect took place with player number 12. He's a lineman named Muckdragon de Orable. Tries to throw a block directly into this ghoul. Unfortunately, rolls a player down result instead. So instead of using one of his rerolls, because so early in the game so far, he decides to let it go. And so because it caused immediate turnover. So that pretty much stops turn number 2 for our friend Brother Grimm's. With that being said, we go directly to the bottom of turn number 2 for my sister Shade. Alright, so that takes a look at the bottom of turn number 2 for the Shambling Undead from my little sister Shade. And as you can see, some pretty crazy things have occurred over here in the back zone. So let's talk what ended up happening. So first of all, my little sister Shade moved up both of her ghouls. So ghoul players number 3 and 4, Petsu the Shadow and Huchai, actually go directly from their positionals all the way around the top of the wide zone, screen away from the top over there. At the same time, my sister Shade also moves up her skeleton to mark this blitzer as well. And at the same time, her white character, his name is Achta the Sinut, actually moves over, manages to grab the ball, and also escapes the tackle zone of Toofgut Bonk Smasher. Now, unfortunately for my sister Shade, she originally failed her agility test, but she decided to burn one of her rerolls, because she has 3 of them. And so because he does successfully pass that, he goes his maximum allows directly towards the end zone, directly for the Orcs end zone. So my Brother Grimm's got some work cut out for him to try to stop him and intercept him as well. Meanwhile, down over here, my sister Shade did try to throw a block with her blitzer directly into this blitzer as well. His name is Amontan Afe. Unfortunately, got both player down results. They both get knocked down as well, causing immediate turnover. So that being said, we go directly to the top of turn number 3 for my friend Brother Grimm. Alright, so that takes us to the top of turn number 3 for the Gouged Eye. And as you can see, they managed to get possession of the ball once again. What ends up happening is that thrower number 1, his name is Grabuk Scabbad. He actually throws a blitz action directly from down over here, runs directly into Achta Sinut, managed to throw a block directly into him with a blitz, managed to do a power result on him, knock him over one square, and the ball bounces over directly to the 2 o'clock position over here is where the ball would end up going directly from that location. Now from there, of course, my friend Brother Grimm activates his one of his blitzers, player number 9, Face Badax. He actually runs back from the line of scrimmage, directly to pick up the ball, ends up 1 square right behind the throwers, what ends up happening here. At the same time, over here, he does have Toofgut Bonk Smasher throw a blow directly into Afeb of the Sands. Imagine knock him over as well as occupying the space. And also moved up his big and over here to mark this mummy player as well. What that did is that freed up another one of his blitzers. His name is Crumgrum Ripsnort. He actually runs directly over here and actually takes the cover positions right over here in order to protect this blitzer from being attacked by these ghouls. And that pretty much makes up Brother Grimm's activation for this one. So turn number 3 over with for the Orcs. We go directly to the bottom of turn number 3 for the Shambling Undead. Alright, so that takes directly to the end of turn number 3 for my little sister, the Shade. As you can see, she decides to swarm everything she can directly towards these players, sending in her ghouls in order to try to do a blitz action directly to this guy. Only got a push result though, so because they only doing down 1 square. But she's also kind of made like a small little screen over here with some ghouls as well as some skeletons. At the same time, she also moved a couple of her forces around here, but the most dramatic effect took place here in the center with Afib of the Sands throwing a block directly into 2 players. First of all, got a power result on player number 2, Goldgrat One-Eyed, so he goes crashing down, but he's perfectly fine. And throws a blocking action with multi-block directly into the Troll Toofgut Bonk Smasher. But they both got both player down results. They both go crashing to the ground, ending my little sister Shade's turn. So with that being said, we go directly to the top of turn number 4 for my friend Brother Grimm. So we go directly to the top of turn number 4, but unfortunately my friend Brother Grimm forgets to move his turn marker, so because he does commit an illegal procedure, which means he automatically loses his turn because he forgot to move his turn marker on that part. Got a little too excited, started moving guys around, and my little sister Jade called him on it, so because of that he will lose turn number 4 on this one. Which is also extremely ironic because my little sister Shade forgets to do exactly the same thing. So she forgets to move her turn marker too. She actually started moving her ghouls. My friend Brother Grimm was like, wait a minute, you forgot to move your turn marker. So because of that, she also sits her as well. So because of that, turn number 4 is kind of like a comedy of errors with players running around not paying attention to what they're doing. So with that being said, we go directly to the top of turn number 5 from our friend Brother Grimm. Alright, so we go directly to the top of turn number 5 because my friend remembered to move the turn marker this time. But it's kind of short-lived, all things considered. And the reason why is because of some fortunate events. So first of all, he managed to stand up Toothgut Bonk Smasher as well as his player number 2, Gouged Eye. Gouged Eye loses 3 squares of his movement, but moves 2 squares over here to get in blocking position for this blitzer number 9, Face Skull Badox. Now Face Skull Badox moves his maximum movement allowance around the outside of the skirt edge, moving over here, passing his agility test. So he's perfectly fine that way. However, up here in the top, though, he does try to throw a block with blitzer number 3. His name is Gabrat Gutwrencher. Unfortunately for him, though, he does fail it with a player down result. So because he does go crashing directly into the ground, and he is currently bleeding out. And that with a stun result as well, because he got stunned on that part. So that being said, we go directly to the bottom of turn number 5 for my little sister, the Shade. Alright, so we're back for the bottom of turn number 5 for my sister Shade and the Shambling Undead. And touchdown! Number 1 for the Champions of Death. So let's talk about exactly what happened. So first of all, what ended up happening is that my little sister Shade took her white A-shot of the Senute. He throws a block directly into Gobruk's Scab Bag Magic and a power result, as well as a stun result. So he goes crashing to the ground face down. He's currently bleeding out as well. And what this did is it opened up the positional for Ghoul Player number 3, Petsu the Shadow, and the Shade ran Petsu the Shadow's normal movement allowance all the way directly down to the end zone, had him stop right there at the end of the end zone. Now from there, of course, she then throws a blitz action, which she decides to do. First of all, she moves the skeleton into position in order to help out with the blitz, and then sends in her other white. His name is Anatan Afe, who's got a mighty blow. He runs directly into Face Skull Badox, managed to get a power result on him, and also push him down over here, which caused the ball to bounce directly into this position, and this Aiken square unoccupied by this guy. Now from there, Shade then sends in her other ghoul, who's over here. That's Ghoul Player number 4, Huchai. Huchai moves in, picks the ball no problem, manages to escape the tackle zone of this Orc player as well, moves directly her maximum allowance, and then throws a short pass directly towards this guy. Need a 5+ in order to get it, and she lands it with a 6. So because that caused an immediate touchdown as well as a turnover for the game. So that being said, we go directly to the, my friends will go take a second to re-rack their players, and we'll come back again for the top of turn number 6 during the kickoff. We'll be right back after this. Alright, so now we're back for the kickoff. As you can see, my friends have re-racked as well. Where the ball basically lands is pretty much scatters right over here, right back directly to where the sweet spot, right in front of the thrower, Goldbrax Kabad. So because my friend did get kind of lucky. Unfortunately, the unfortunate event, though, was the kickoff event, which was Ophius Ref. And unfortunately, basically what you gotta do is you gotta take your fan factors, roll a d6 apiece, and whoever has the highest gets to determine what ends up happening. So because I Shade won, and what ended up happening is that player number 9 gets knocked out. So because he is currently stunned, he is laying down on the ground. He is currently bleeding out right off the bat. So that part is not so great for my friend, Brother Grimm. So that being said, now that both teams are ready to go, we go directly to the top of turn number 6 for my friend, Brother Grimm. Alright, so that takes directly to the top of turn number 6 for my friend, Brother Grimm. And touchdown number 1 for the Gouged Eye with the throw teammate action, which is absolutely insane. So let's talk about what ended up happening. So first of all, player number 1, Glowbrooks Gabat, he actually moves up to actually pick up the ball. Unfortunately, he did fail his first attempt. So that part was insane. However, though, my friend Brother Grimm decided to burn up one of his reroll dice in order to do so. So because he did manage to pick up the ball successfully, then he just did a quick pass real quick to player number 13, Zogwarp. And Zogwarp was right next to the troll Toothgut Box Smasher. He passes always hungry test, as well as his really stupid test. And he decides to do a throw teammate action. Rolls a perfect 6 right off the bat. So because he does land perfectly, he does scatter, I believe, 1 square over, and then from there, Zogwarp then runs with his maximum allowance directly to the end zone, scoring a touchdown for his team. So that part was absolutely insane. So that being said, we're going to go back to the kickoff real quick. My friends are going to re-rack real fast, and then we'll come back after my friends have reorganized. That was insane. All right, so now we're back for the kickoff, and when the kickoff event took place, we got cheering fans for the kickoff event. So because of that, my little sister Shade actually won the roll-off on that one, but it kind of was painful because the pair that was rolled is number 9, Moles under the pitch, which means that anybody that tries to rush on this turn, on this drive, will suffer a -1 to their penalty for trying to rush it. At the same time, the ball actually bounced right over here directly near the line of scrimmage, which is great for Shade, and also pretty great for my friend Brother Grimm too, because he could also regain possession of the ball if he's lucky. So because of that, both teams are now set up, and we will now begin bottom of turn number 6 for the Shambling Undead. I'll be right back after their first set of activations. All right, so that takes us directly to the bottom of turn number 6. As you can see, some dramatic things have occurred after the kickoff. What ended up happening here is that my friend, my little sister, she managed to pop a hole right directly here in the line of scrimmage, knocking over a player this direction, as well at the same time pushing players over in this direction as well, creating a nice gap for her to slip through. So because she moved it forward with her white, as well as one of her ghouls over here. At the same time, white player number 5, his name is Avsha Senate, throws a blitz directly into the thrower. Goldbrook Scabbad knocked him back with the pass result. So because I did kind of open up this hole here, at the same time, my sister Shay put a zombie here to mark these players, as well as slip through her ghoul as well, giving herself multiple options she could do as she tries to take the ball directly to the end zone. And that pretty much takes up turn number 6. With turn number 6 over with, we go directly to the top of turn number 7 for my friend Brother Grimm. And turn number 7, a disaster strikes for my friend Brother Grimm because he forgets to move his turn marker. So because that caused immediate turnover, because of illegal procedures. So just like that, my friend Brother Grimm dropped the ball on that part. So we go directly to the bottom of turn number 7 for my little sister Shade and the Champions of Undeath. So that takes directly to the bottom number 7 for the Shambling Undead, and touchdown number 2 for my little sister Shade once again. So let's talk about what ended up happening. So first of all, she sent up her ghoul player number 3, Petsu the Shadow. He moves his maximum allowance and goes for it twice, even in spite of the moles of the pitch. Manages to make it directly all the way to the end zone. Now from there, my little sister Shade then activated another ghoul player, Hoochchai, player number 4. He moves up his movement maximum allowance and throws a ball for a quick pass with a -1 penalty on that one. Rolls a 6 for the pass, and then she manages to catch with her agility test, scoring her another touchdown on this one. So now the score is currently 2-1. So my friends will re-rack again for one more turn for turn number 8 of the first half. Okay, so now we're back after kickoff. As you can see, my friends have lined up once again, and the ball ended up directly right next to the thrower, Glowbrook Skabad. For the event on this one, it was blitz. So because that, my friend got to move 5 of his guys to move up 6 of his people if he wanted to move up on the opposite side for Shade. So because of that, you can see here, she moved up her blitzers as well as her ghouls and skeletons from the backfield, moving them up closer to the line of scrimmage, so that way she can intercept and try to stop the ball from going through the line. And that pretty much makes it the kickoff events on this one. So with the kickoff over with, we go directly to the top of turn number 8 for my friend Brother Grimm. So that takes directly to the top of turn number 8 for my friend Brother Grimm, the Gouged Eye, and touchdown number 2. As he manages to throw successfully another teammate once again into the box and managed to make it all the way directly to the end zone and scoring another touchdown. So let's talk about what ended up happening. So first of all, this player, Glowbrook Skabad, actually moves up in order to pick up the ball, managed to do so successfully. Just a quick handoff directly with a short pass directly to player number 13, Zogwarp, earning himself a star player point. Now from there, Tufka Bonk Smasher decides to throw his teammate directly over the line of scrimmage. Does his maximum move for that one. Actually managed to mess up his throw. Actually, I think he rolled like a 2. He rolled a 1 originally, is what he did. But then he used one of his re-rolls, and because of that, managed to roll a perfect 6 on that one. So because of a superb throw, Zogwarp actually lands and actually scatters over one space over to the top, but I'm a little bit closer. So he goes for it all the way across the battlefield. Goes for it once and makes it directly to a touchdown, which makes the score even now at 2-2 for the first half. And my little sister Sage decided to take a knee for remainder of the first half. So because of it, we go directly to the second half, and I'll be right back after my friends re-rack. We'll be right back after they set up again for the second half of the game. All right, so that takes us directly to the top of the second half after the kickoff event. So as you see, both teams are lined up. This time the Shambling Undead will receive the ball because they like to do so at the coin toss at the beginning of the game. The ball eventually settles right over here, kind of like in the middle of the wide zone on the side of the Shambling Undead. For the kickoff event, however, they did roll timeout. So because of that, both of my friends will lose a turn because of that. So with that being said, we go directly to the top of turn number 3 for my friend, for my little sister Shade. We'll be right back after her first activations. All right, so that takes us directly to the bottom of turn number 3 for the Shambling Undead, and my little sister Shade is taking the offense on this one. As you can see, her mummies and the main line of scrimmage just kind of manhandle these big ones and these orcs, and the troll. Imagine throwing down directly away from the line of scrimmage and also dividing players at the top, which created this breach right here in the main line, which my little sister then proceeded to exploit. She sent one of her zombies to blitz action to this goblin mage to get a push result to push him back further away. She also moves up a couple of players in order to get in blocking positions to snap in this area as well. She also moves up her ghouls and locations over in this location, trying to go through that line. At the same time, also marks a couple players down over here as well. And that pretty much makes up her activations for this one. So with her turn over with, we go right to the bottom of turn number 3 for my friend Brother Grimm and the Gouged Eye. Alright, so that takes right to the bottom of turn number 3 on this one. And unfortunately, it's kind of a short-lived play for my friend Brother Grimm. He sends in player number 12, Mac Dragon to Orbital, to do a blitz action against Petsu the Shadow. Unfortunately for him, he got both players down. And so because he does try to use one of his rerolls in order to fix that, but it still came up as both players down. So because of that, the ball does scatter. It does scatter to the 7 o'clock position, in which case this skeleton, player number 9, his name is Neith, he managed to capture the ball, so he is currently in possession of it as well. So just like that, things are not looking very good right now for my friend Brother Grimm. So that being said, we go directly to the top of turn number 4 for the Shambling Undead. Alright, so that takes us directly to the top of turn number 4 for my little sister Shade. And as you can see, some dramatic things have occurred over here in the line of scrimmage. So first of all, my little sister Shade sends up her Whites forward and manages to shove back a couple of these players to make the gap even larger inside the line of scrimmage. Now from there, player number 9, the skeleton, his name is Neith. He moves up directly to player number 4, Hoochchai, hands the ball over directly to Hoochchai. Hoochchai, the ghoul, then proceeds to go for it twice, rushing forward 2 squares, ending up 2 squares away directly from the end zone, and also pretty safe away from most of the orcs, mainly their players for the most part. At the same time, she also does some more pushes and shoves and blocks and knocks a couple of guys over. However, the most dramatic play took place over here. This crazy zombie, I believe that's zombie player number 8. His name is Seb, is his name. He throws a block directly into blitzer player number 9, Face Scalp Dox, cracks his armor and causes a casualty. And to make matters worse, when he rolls for the D16, my little sister Shade rolled a 15, so just like that, the Dax, Face Scalp Dax, the blitzer, is dead. And just like that, my friend Brother Grimm lost another player for his team. So first blood going directly towards the champions of Undeath. So things are not looking very good right now for my buddy Brother Grimm. So that being said, we go directly to the bottom of turn number 4 for the Orcs. Alright, so that takes directly to the bottom of turn number 4 for the Gouged Eye. Unfortunately for my friend Brother Grimm, nothing much really happened for the most part. The big play over here took place with player number 3, Blitzer Gubrak Gutwrencher. He actually managed to escape out of the tackle zone of player number 5, Ashtapas Senut, but unfortunately for him, he had to use reroll in order to pass that agility test to get out of that tackle zone. So he does with blitz action directly into Hoochchai. Unfortunately, when he rolls for his tackle result, a block result, he got a push. So all he did is he pushed him down 1 square. That's all he was able to do. For the most part, he just basically stood most of his player back to his feet. He does try to intercept over here with one of his blitzers, but doesn't have enough smooth squares to do so. And that pretty much ends turn number 4 for my friend Brother Grimm. So that being said, we go directly to the top of turn number 5 for my little sister Shade. Alright, so it takes directly to the top of turn number 5 for my little sister Shade, and touchdown number 3 for the champions of death for the Shambling Undead. So let's talk about what ended up happening real quick. So my little sister activated Hoochchai, who then passes agility test in order to escape the tackle zone from player number 3, Grubak Gutwrencher, and then from there she just moved over 2 more squares, and bam, just like that, secured herself touchdown number 3 for her team. And because her team has scored 3 or more touchdowns at this point, she will be able to get herself an additional lead point on that as well. So just like that ends turn number turn number 5 for her. So because of that, my friends, will be right back. Our friends are going to re-rack their plays real quick, and we will be back for the kickoff. We'll be right back after this. Alright, so now we're back with the kickoff. Unfortunately for my friend Brother Grimm, he is playing with a severe handicap. He's got, 9 players on the table. So he's outnumbered by 2 players at this point. So kind of rough for him. But as you can see, he's pretty much set up his defensive line. Same thing my little sister Shade. She set up her defensive line as well. When the ball finally landed, it landed right over here in this square. And the reason why is because, actually, it landed over in this square over here. But it was high kick. So because of that, my friend Brother Grimm got to move one of his players to catch the ball. So he sent up his blitzer number 3, Brock Gutwrencher, managed to catch the ball without a problem. So good news for him, he is immediately in possession of the ball. So with that being said, we go directly to the bottom, turn number 5 for the Gouged Eye. And we'll be right back after his activations. Alright, so that takes us directly to the bottom of turn number 5 real quick from our friend Brother Grimm. As you can see, some dramatic things have taken place. He's managed to push through the line of scrimmage, knocking over the mummies, which is actually a pretty impressive feat just by itself. At the same time, also moving up players up here to mark the top players of the wide zone. However, down over here, he decides to try to go through an exploit. He sends up his one of his blitzers, Gut Wrencher, managed to pass agility test to go after Gouged Eye, which is the ghoul. Tries to do a blitz action on him. However, he got a push result, but since Gouged Eye has the decisive ability, he just goes around him for the most part, also marking him as well, which could be pretty devastating. And of course, the rest of the players kind of fled down here to try to make their way directly to the end zone. And that pretty much makes up turn number 5 from our friend Brother Grimm. So with that being said, we go directly to the top of turn number 6 for my little sister Shade. Alright, so we go directly to the top of turn number 6 for my little sister, the Shade. As you can see, for the most part, she was able to smash a couple of guys up here in the top. Might have slipped through the line of scrimmage with one of her ghouls, Petsu the Shadow. The most dramatic thing that took place over here is that a couple of skeletons moved into position, and then one of them did a blitzing action to support it in order to knock over player number 3, her back Gut Wrencher. So because of the ball does bounce directly into this unoccupied square up here. From there, Gouged Eye, the ghoul, moves up, picks up the ball. Shade has to use one of her rerolls in order to make sure that he gets the ball. So she's out of rerolls for the rest of the turn. She then skirts around the outside edge and comes directly to the end zone, trying to make her way directly to make another touchdown or pass the ball directly to the end zone. And that pretty much makes up her turn for this one. So with turn number 6, over with the directly to the bottom of the turn from our friend Brother Grimm. Alright, so we go directly to the bottom of turn number 6 from our friend Brother Grimm, and his turn was pretty much a short one. The first thing he does is try to do a blitz action with Goldbrook's Kabad. That character does a blitz action directly into Gouged Eye, but only manages to get a push results because that Gouged Eye gets shoved up right up here in the top between these players over here. At the same time, she does throw a block with Toothcut Bonk Smasher, manages to push the zombie back, but when she doesn't do another block, with her big and Golrot One Eye, he actually gets a player down result, so because that caused immediate turnover. So that being said, we go directly to the top of turn number 7 for my little sister Shade. Alright, so that takes us directly to the top of turn number 7 for my little sister Shade, and as you see, quite a bit of developments have taken place along the game over here. So first of all, my little sister Shade used her skeletons down over here to push a couple players around, as at the same time making a hole over here for Gouged Eye to pass the ball directly to player number 3, Petsu the Shadow. Now, unfortunately, my little sister needed a Hail Mary on this one. She needed to roll a 6 in order to get it done because she was being marked by multiple players and stuff, but she rolled a 6 without using reroll because she has no more rerolls, and he managed to catch the ball no problem, earning himself an additional star player point as well. Now, he is kind of vulnerable to being blitzed by this player, so my little sister Shade does have a work cut out for me, but as you can see here, though, one of the most dramatic things took place with this player number here, mummy player number 2, Sinru Nabotan, throws a block directly into big gun player number 8, Ugrad to Slaughter. Managed to get a casualty on that one by cracking his armor, and he is badly hurt. So he will not go into recovery, but he will miss the rest of the game, however. So because of that, my buddy Brother Grimm is now down 2 players in this game so far as well. At the same time, Neru Saban also earns himself an additional 2 star player points. Now, the turn does end when this zombie does try to throw a block directly at him, but gets a player down result, so cause immediate turnover for the bottom of turn number 7 for my friend Brother Grimm. So we go directly to the bottom of turn number 7 for my friend Brother Grimm real quick. It's a pretty short-lived turn because player number 12, Matragon the Horrible, he does try to escape the tackle zone out of this white. Unfortunately, though, he fails the agility test. Unfortunately, my friend Brother Grimm has no more rerolls, so because that goes crashing to the ground and causes immediate turnover for my little sister Shade. So because that will go directly to the top of turn number 8. So we go directly to the top of turn number 8 and touchdown number 4 for the Shambling Undead, the Champions of Death. Just like that, Petsu the Shadow moves up his normal moon allowance and goes for it once to rush one more square forward, and bam, just like that, he managed to get himself directly into the end zone with a touchdown as well. And at this point, though, my friend Brother Grimm decides to call the game just because he doesn't want to sit up again for one more turn. He's already down 2 players. He was already handicapped with 1 at the beginning of the game. So just like that, he concedes, and another victory for my little sister Shade and the Shambling Undead of the Champions of Death. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going directly to the after action report because this game is now officially over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Alright, so now it's time for the After Action Report. This is a part of the Battle Report we talk about what went well, what went poorly, and what we can learn for the next time that we do battle. This is the After Action Report for Tales from the Tackle Zone Season 2, Battle Report number 15. This was game number 8 of the Old World Conference between the Gouged Eye as well as the Champions of Death. So starting out with Brother Grimm, unfortunately for Brother Grimm as well as the Gouged Eye, they did lose his Battle Report, and they also suffered a couple of injuries as well. Big in player number 8, Ugrag the Slaughter, got badly hurt, so because of that he did not participate in the game, but he made a full recovery, so no harm, no foul. Blitzer number 9, however, faced Galbadox. He died, so because that he was eliminated from the roster, so because that, once again, my friend Brother Grimm lost another one of his players. Now for advancements on this one, Goblin player number 13, Zogwarp, randomly learned the diving catch skill, so because that he increased his gold value by 10,000 gold pieces. And when it came to the winnings on this one, he did actually manage to scrounge up 60,000 gold pieces, and when combined with the money he had in the treasury, he recruited a new Blitzer, Blitzer number 8. That Blitzer's name is Gorla Grodsplitta, and he spent 80,000 gold pieces in order to recruit him. Of course, that did bring his treasury down to 0 gold pieces, but you know, that's the way it goes. Now for inducements, he didn't actually purchase any inducements this time, and for his dedicated fans, there was no change at all, so because he still has only 1 for dedicated fans. For league points, he earned no league points because he lost the game, so because he still is at 1 league point. His new record now is at 0 wins and 3 losses, and his new team value now is at 1,050 points. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about my little sister Shade and her team, the Champions of Death. For injuries, not a single member of her team was injured, so they're perfectly fine. And for the injuries, and for advancements, 2 members of this team did level up. Ghoul player number 3, Petsu the Shadow, chose the Sure Feet skill and actually increased their gold value by 20,000 gold pieces. And Zombie number 14, Hathor, randomly learned the Tackle skill and also increased their value by 10,000 gold pieces as well. Now for the winnings on this one, my little sister Shade earned 80,000 gold pieces, which combined with the money that she had in her treasury, gave her a grand total of 140,000 gold pieces in total. With her money, she recruited a star player, so this is the very first star player we have in our campaign. She recruited Bryce the Slice Campbell, which is a play on Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead, which is kind of cool. He's a star player who's actually I think a couple of weeks ago they actually announced the brand new miniature for the updated miniature for this guy. But anyways, he costs 130,000 gold pieces. Bryce the Slice Campbell comes with a chainsaw, so he's also very deadly that way. He's got the Loner 4-up skill. He's also got Regeneration, Secret Weapon, Stand Firm, Thick Skull, and Ghostly Flame special ability as well. And what Ghostly Flame does is that once per half when Bryce makes the chainsaw attack as part of a blitz, you can add 4 up to his armor roll on that one. So this guy is extremely deadly as well. And it's kind of cool because my sister got the very first star player for our campaign, which is kind of cool. Now, because he costs so much, obviously, she put the 10,000 remaining gold pieces in the treasury, so because that she could not purchase any inducements at this time. At the same time, her dedicated fan base also increased by 1, giving her a grand total of 3 dedicated fans. For her league points, she got +1 for scoring 3 or more touchdowns in a single game, as well as 3 league points for winning, giving her a grand total of 7 league points in total. Her new record now is at 2 wins, 1 draw, and 0 losses, and her new team value now is at 1,240 points. So there you guys go. That's going to do it for this one for Battle Report number 15 of Season 2 of Tales from the Tackle Zone. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is valuable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blog.com for all the latest greatest hobby news related to this channel. That's good for this for you guys. We'll catch you guys next one. Peace out and stay classy.